My name is Carlos Campos. My topic today deals with self-esteem. Now, self-esteem is basically one's opinion of themselves. Here's a quote that clarifies that. You are who you think you are. And who you think you are reflects your self-esteem. If you have a low opinion of yourself, you don't think you're smart, you don't think you're good looking, etc., then you have low self-esteem, and that's going to have a negative effect on your life because you're not going to have confidence in yourself. But if you have high self-esteem, because you think highly of yourself, for example, you think you're smart, you think you're good looking, man, that's going to help you achieve your goals and dreams because you're going to have a lot of confidence. Now, of course, it's better to have high self-esteem rather than having low self-esteem. Now, like I said, having high self-esteem is going to greatly improve your chances of reaching your goals and your dreams. Now, to understand what causes one to have high self-esteem or low self-esteem depends on you understanding the answer to the question I'm going to ask you. Now, the question is, what is the definition of the truth? What does the truth mean to you? Any volunteers? Okay, that's a close answer, but we're not playing horseshoes, so close don't count. I'm not going to give you the answer to that question. The truth is your perception of reality. Your perception of reality. Perception means your opinion of reality. And reality means what you think the truth is. I'll give you a couple examples. One, if a very attractive girl thinks she's unattractive, she's telling the truth because it's her perception of reality that she's not attractive. That's the truth to her. If a guy thinks he's dumb, even though he's very, very smart, he's telling the truth because his perception of reality is that he's dumb, and that's the truth to him. The bottom line is your perception of reality reflects your self-esteem. Now, I want to emphasize that I believe that one's self-esteem is the most important, most critical aspect of a person's personality. Because if you have high self-esteem, man, your chances of reaching your goals and dreams substantially increase. And if you have low self-esteem, man, you're in trouble because you're not going to have confidence. Now, next question is, what causes someone to have high or low self-esteem? Most people will say it's a combination of your DNA and the environment that you grow up in. I believe it's mostly the environment that causes your self-esteem. So when you're born, you don't have any self-esteem. You develop it by your life's experiences. You have good experiences. People praise you, think you're smart, tell you you're good looking. That gives you positive self-esteem. But if people criticize you, say you got a big nose, big ears, or you're ugly, or you're not athletic, those negative comments hurt you and cause you to have low self-esteem. Now, the key to my speech is that I want you to believe that everyone can change and improve their self-esteem from low to high. Because you want to have high self-esteem so that you have a better chance of reaching your goals and dreams. I urge you to push yourself to have high self-esteem. Because I'll repeat, high self-esteem helps you reach your goals and dreams. I'll give you some personal proof, which proves that what I'm saying is true. I had low self-esteem as a teenager. I thought I was dumb. I didn't think I was smart. That caused me to eventually get D's and F's in my first year of college and flunk out of college my first year. However, I was able to somehow overcome the low self-esteem, develop high self-esteem, and got my bachelor's degree in 2.5 years. My law degree. Passed the bar and became a lawyer. So question is, how did I go from flunking out of college my first year to becoming a lawyer? I'll tell you, I did two things. Number one, I had to admit the fact that I had low self-esteem. And it was preventing me from reaching my goals and dreams. Just like an alcoholic has to admit that he's an alcoholic before he can overcome alcoholism, I had to admit, hey, I got low self-esteem. I got to change it. Number two, then I had to motivate and push myself to get rid of the low self-esteem and develop high self-esteem. Took some effort, but you can't do something unless you want to do it. And I wanted to do it. Now, I want to tell you what caused me to develop low self-esteem. Okay? In reflecting on my childhood, I remember as a kid, my father, a medical doctor, a smart man, used to always ask me questions. He'd poke at my brain, like, what is friction? I'd go, I don't know. I couldn't answer most of his questions for whatever reason. He'd roll his eyes and I could read his mind. Hey, I'm a dummy. Whereas I had a brother who was the brain of the family. Always got straight A's, was number one in his class all the time. And man, he could answer any question. So my father would look at him and praise him, and of course look at me and say, oh, got me a loser. And that hurt my feelings, and I didn't really care at the time, but it made me develop low self-esteem. And eventually, hey, I flunked out of college. Now, this is why my personal story tells you how important it is for a parent to praise their children. Constantly tell them they're smart, they're good looking, wow. Because they're going to love and believe your opinion of them. So praise them, And I'm not putting down my father for helping me get low self-esteem. He did it on purpose. And also, don't criticize your children for any reason. If you constantly criticize your children, they're going to develop low self-esteem. They're not going to feel like they're smart or good looking. So last time I repeat, praise your children. Don't criticize your children. I'm going to make a long story short. After I flunked out of college, when you flunk out of college, you can't go nowhere for 6 months. That's one semester. So during those 6 months, I was basically a bum. Worked some minimum wage jobs and, tried to avoid my father so he would give me that look that you're a loser. So then what am I going to do with my future? Then I decided that maybe I should join the Navy because some friends were joining the Navy. But I dreaded telling my father that I was going to join the Navy because I knew that his opinion of me would sink lower because he thought, I know he did, that only people that join the Navy or Army were losers with no options. And I don't mean to criticize anybody that joined the Navy or the Army. I wanted to join, but that's just my father's opinion. As a medical doctor, hey, he had higher standards for his kids, and I was a failure. So I dreaded having to tell him, and it really bothered me because during that semester I was out of school, man, I was just full of guilt because I felt bad that I was a loser. I flunked out of college. Every time I see him, I know what he was thinking. So I was trying to come up with a spin. How do I tell him why it's a good deal for me to join the Navy? So I decided, hey, I'll tell him that I need time to mature. I get the GI Bill. They'll pay for my college. And then I started thinking, man, I don't want to spend the rest of my life full of guilt that I didn't go to college. And then I thought of something. I was blessed. I was good in sports. I mostly won all the time I did sports. Not bragging, but when I did lose, it didn't bother me. I didn't feel guilty because I always gave 100% effort. I was very determined, very enthused, had a lot of desire. And in most sports, the people that excel are those that have great determination, give 100%, try hard, do their best. And that's what I did. So, hey, if I happen to lose, man, I did my best. So then I thought, wait a minute. I don't feel guilty if I lose in sports, occasionally, but I feel guilty because I flunked out of college. But I didn't do my best. I didn't give 100% effort. I just screwed around. So, hey, it was my fault. And I thought, well, why don't I go back to college, give it another shot, give 100%, do my best that I can, and if I flunk out, I won't feel guilty. I wasn't expecting to pass. I just wanted to, hey man, I did my best, I'm just not made to go to college. But I'm going to try. lo and behold, man, it worked. My new attitude worked. Man, I passed that first class. Says, hey, man, I'm not as dumb as I thought. Man, I'm as smart as that guy. And slowly by slowly, I built up my self-esteem, and that's where I eventually graduated college, law school, became a lawyer. Now, here's a great quote that tells you the difference between having high self-esteem and having low self-esteem. If you think you can do something, or if you think you cannot do something, you're right. Get my point? Bottom line is, having high self-esteem gives you the confidence to believe that you can do what you want to do. Having low self-esteem, you ain't got confidence that you can accomplish your goals, and you won't. So, if you want to reach your goals and dreams and improve your chances of becoming happier, healthier, wealthier, more successful, push yourself to start having high self-esteem. Quoting Nike, you can do it. Thank you.